The Earth is flat.
Hi, how are you? I hope you always healthy. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I would like to continue our discussion about the moon on flat Earth. This is the truth. I will tell the truth. It's painful, but better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. Before I start it, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon on my channel if you enjoy. And also, share this information to your family, your friends, and everyone. I can't speak, I had speech disorder. So, I am sorry to use robot voice on the video. Many people complain about this. But now, I had buy a better speech software with good voice. I also put the text on the video, so you can read them if you're not comfortable with this voice. So, here we go. Note that NASA have not taken any photos or videos of a solar eclipse from space since the 1960s. This is because satellites and spacecraft are hoaxes, and nothing has gone past 100 kilometers in altitude. NASA with all their money and spaceships just give us lies and cartoon-style CGI. So, we need to forget all of this hogwash, and go back to ancient myth. The solar eclipse has caused fear, and been associated with myths, legends and superstitions throughout history. Even today, an eclipse of the sun is considered a bad omen in many cultures, but we will elaborate on this later. Note, esoterically and astrologically, I would say never to make a big life decision near, or on a solar eclipse, or even during the solar and lunar eclipse fortnight, unless you really know what you are doing with bringing the energy down and harnessing it. In Vietnam, people believed that a giant frog was devouring the sun, while Viking cultures blamed wolves for eating the sun. In ancient China, a celestial dragon was thought to lunch on the sun. Norse mythology explained that eclipses were the doing of sky wolves, or warg, which would chase and eat both the sun and moon. According to ancient Vedic mythology, the deity Rahu, a god of darkness, attempted to sneak a taste of an elixir of immortality. The sun and moon told the god Vishnu about Rahu's crime. Vishnu sliced off Rahu's head as the demon was drinking, so Rahu's head became immortal. In rage and frustration, Rahu's head continues to chase the sun and moon, occasionally swallowing them. Because he has no body, however, the moon and sun disappear only momentarily, and fall out the bottom of his head. Rahu is also known as the Black Sun, or Shadow Planet. There are scores more myths from around the world regarding the solar eclipse, but we will focus on Rahu from Vedic lore more than the others. Remember in the first chapter, we spoke of flat Earth nodes, where the moon crosses the sun's trajectory in a given lunar month. A solar eclipse only occurs when there is a new moon, and the sun and moon are both at the same flat Earth node at the same time. This happens about twice a year on average. There are three types of solar eclipse. The total and annular solar eclipses prove that either the sun or moon, or both, vary their altitude from the Earth. Totality, during a full solar eclipse can only be seen from a very small area on Earth. This area is usually about 100 miles, or 160 kilometers wide, and 10,000 miles, or 16,100 kilometers, long. Areas outside this track may be able to see a partial eclipse of the sun, and most areas will see nothing. These facts all fit very well with the flat Earth model, and distance and size of the sun and moon, that we presented earlier. Have you ever noticed the path of a solar eclipse is always a thin stripped curve on the ball model? Place this on the flat Earth, and it's simply the path of the Sun at the time of the eclipse. This images is all of the solar eclipse paths from 1996 to 2020. So what causes the solar eclipse? Many within the flat Earth community, many believe there is another object, like a black sun, or Rahu. One driver for this is, that the moon cannot eclipse the sun, because it's semi-transparent. But we debunked this earlier. Some even think, this extra body in the sky creates the phases. I quote from a Flat Earth public forum. Rahu seems to occasionally try to swallow the sun and the moon, creating solar and lunar eclipses, but it seems like every month Rahu attempts to swallow the moon very slowly, before the moon gradually comes out the other end, meaning that Rahu either has a hole in the end of is simply blocking to sun. I wonder if Rahu is an intelligent entity, or a dark piece of matter. Solar eclipses aren't caused by the moon, but by a shadow planet known in ancient India as Rahu. This is good conjecture, has some rationality behind it, but is wrong, and I will present why in due course. We never have a solar eclipse when the moon has just been visible in the sky. The solar eclipses only occur when the moon is a new moon. For example, when the moon is always very near the sun. A total solar eclipse lasts for only a few minutes at any given place, so what does that tell us? It seems that the altitude of the sun and moon vary slightly, giving us things like Venus transits, Mercury transits, and the different solar eclipses. Therefore, we see the width of the path of totality differs from one eclipse to another. This width can even change during a single solar eclipse. The track of a solar eclipse, path of totality, is a very narrow path over the Earth's surface. The solar eclipses have all the characteristics of an obstructing object passing in front of the sun, the narrow shadow on the Earth, the small duration, and the eclipse shape. The moon can't be anywhere else at the time of a solar eclipse save for at the place of the sun, due the node being at the sun at full moon. The sun should be passing behind the moon, it goes faster and overtakes it, but clearly the moon, black thing or whatever is in front of the sun, passes in front of the sun. This puts a dent into the moon passes in front of the sun theory. On the flat Earth, the sun takes 24 hours to revolve, and the moon takes just under 25 hours. The sun catches up once a month, and passes the moon at new moon. But clearly, the blackness passes over the sun. It's highly possible the moon is invisible before, during, and after new moon, whether day or night. And when the solar eclipse occurs, an electromagnetic handshake occurs, causing the sun to eat itself or refresh or reinitiate, creating a new energy. Eclipses are like gateways in astrological or esoteric terms. These images show that nothing passes in front of the sun. Why is there no light shining on the supposed moon when total solar eclipse occurs? Surely there should be a light ring on the edge since the sun would light up the other side of the moon? No human has ever seen the moon before or after a solar eclipse, or before or after a new moon. The mainstream story is this is because the sunlight blocks it out, but this is not the case with, say, a plane. A new moon rises when the sun rises, and it sets when the sun sets, but surely we should still see a black silhouette sometimes. Why is there a silhouette of a plane and not one of the moon near the time of new moon? Moving on, if it were another separate body passing in front of the sun, Rahu or Ketu, then surely we would see these black bodies at other times? Another option is, that there is a divine dance of translucent bodies in the sky causing the solar eclipse, backed up by these images. At the moment, These three options are leading the way in flat Earth terms, and funded projects are needed to know more. 1. The sun eats itself from an invisible moon pranic handshake. 2. There is a dance of other objects in the sky, and one passes the sun sometimes. 3. The moon passes the sun, least likely. We live in an interdimensional reality, and it's highly possible all the luminaries are non-physical. This image is said to be from the Miloslav Druckmiller Institute of Mathematics, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Brno University of Technology, Czech Republic. This for me is fake.
The Earth is